So my friend has been dying for a lemon coconut cake, and I had to make one for her. And not only that, but the holidays are coming. Well, I'm going to share my recipe with you guys. I'll be back. Guys, I'm going to show you 3 parts on how to put together this delicious, beautiful coconut lemon cake. So guys, we have the ingredients here for our cake, okay? We have some flour that has already been sifted. We have some sugar. We have some butter at room temperature. We have baking powder. We have oil. We have salt. We have some coconut milk. We have some coconut flavoring, okay? Some delicious coconut flavoring. Some vanilla. Some egg whites that we have at room temperature. And we have some sweetened coconut flakes. Okay, so let's get to making the cake. So we are now getting ready to toast our coconuts. Now, you don't have to do this, but trust me, the reason why I like to toast my coconuts is because I want to intensify the coconut flavor and draw out all those oils coming from the coconut. Okay, so now guys, we are going to mix all our dry ingredients together in our mixing bowl. And guys, don't worry, because all the ingredients are listed in the description box below. We're going to add our sugar. We are going to add our salt and our baking powder. Now, what we're doing now, this is called the reverse mixing method. And what this simply is, it's not your typical beating the butter and the sugar. Where basically what we're doing is we are mixing our dry ingredients. Then we're going to add the butter. The butter is going to coat each of the flour granules, okay? And it's going to create less gluten, and you'll have a nice textured cake. I love using this method, especially for a lot of my cakes. I just find that my cakes are nice and soft. You don't have to worry about overbeating with this method called the reverse mixing method. All right, so now we're adding our softened butter. Okay, and what we're looking for is we're looking for the flour to look like wet sand. Okay, so now my loves, we are going to take our wet ingredients and mix them all together, which is our coconut milk, our oil. We're going to add our egg whites. We're also going to add our coconut flavoring and our vanilla. Okay. And guys, this cake to me has an equal balance of sweetness, and you're going to see it in the end result. All right, so now my loves, we have coated our flour. As you can see, when you look at it and you clump it in your hand, it looks like wet sand. Okay, so all the granules of flour is coated with that butter. All right, so now we're going to add our liquid ingredients. Okay, we're going to add half of it at first. Okay, and we're going to beat that for at least 2 minutes. Okay? Right now what we're doing is we're developing the structure of the cake. And we're beating that at a medium. Well, I was starting off low, guys, because I didn't want all that stuff to fly in my face. But we are now going to increase the speed, okay, to a medium high. But guys, at the same time, do not forget to scrape your bowl. Okay, we want to make sure that we pull up any flour that may be at the bottom of the bowl and ensure that all of our ingredients are incorporated. Okay, now after that, for one last minute, we're gonna add the rest of our milk. Okay, and we are going to beat that for at least about 30 seconds, just to incorporate everything. Okay, and you should end up with a nice smooth batter. Okay, I decided, guys, to add a little bit of lemon extract to this to give it like a pina colada flavor. Okay, and now I'm going to add some of my toasted coconut, a little bit of that to the batter, and we're going to fold that in just a little bit, and I'm going to divide my batter into 3 8-inch pans. Okay, mind you, guys, I'm making more batter, so I kind of like doubled the recipe. Well, actually what I did was I used a recipe and a half. Okay, but the exact measurements will be or are in the description box below. Okay, so I pretty much could eye this, guys. I pretty much could eye it, to get each of the cakes, each pan as even as possible. Okay, so we're going to get ready to put this in a 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes. Okay. Just want to make sure I get all of that delicious batter. And this cake, guys, is so moist. You can make this cake itself in advance. A lot of baked pastry chefs will tell you it's okay if you bake your cakes, wrap them well, put them in the freezer for up to a month, and they will remain nice and fresh if it's nice and well wrapped. And it saves time. It saves a lot of time. Okay, we're going to smooth out the tops of each of our cake. Okay. All right, and I'm going to tap it at least 3 to 4 times just to remove any excess air bubbles. And we are going to take these bad boys and stick them into our oven. Okay, and get them to baking. All right, so now, my loves, we are going to make our lemon filling. This is my favorite part, of course. What I like about this lemon filling is the fact that it has that right amount of lemon zing to it, just the right amount of sweetness. Of course, the lemon flavor is going to be bright and it's going to stand out. Okay, and it has a lot of body to it and a lot of structure. Okay, so we got our freshly squeezed lemon juice. Freshly squeezed lemon juice, my loves. This is what you need. Please do not use well, I can't tell you what to do. I mean, I prefer freshly squeezed, but listen. All right, so we have some salt, we have cornstarch, I have some butter, we have some egg yolks. Okay, just gonna add that richness and color. Our water, of course, and we have sugar. All right, so let me show you how to make this delicious, easy lemon filling. So, my loves, we are going to combine our sugar and our cornstarch in a pot. Okay, and we are going to mix those together with our salt. And this is very easy, guys. Very easy. A baby could do this part, okay? Let's mix our sugar and our cornstarch together well. And we're going to add our water and our lemon juice. Okay, and on medium heat, we are going to stir this constantly until it starts getting nice and thick, and it's going to start getting somewhat of a translucent look to it. Okay, yeah, I had to switch, guys, because what I want to make sure that everything is incorporated in those corners and those grooves to capture any of the flour and sugar. Okay, constantly mixing that. Okay, so I'm speeding it up here, my loves. And as you go, it's going to start getting thicker and thicker. So I had to speed the time up here. Okay. So as you can see, guys, as it starts to thicken, you're going to notice that it's going to start getting, if you could see it, it's going to look somewhat translucent. Okay. So I did that for at least 5-7 minutes. Okay, this is where we want it, as you can see. And now we're going to temper this. We're going to take some of that mixture and we're going to add it to our egg yolks. Okay, and we're going to add that slowly, well, to our egg yolks, and we're going to stir rapidly. And this is called tempering our egg yolks. We're going to add some of this thick liquid to our egg yolks, and we're going to pour the whole egg yolk mixture back into the pot. Okay, and we're going to mix. And it's going to give you a beautiful yellow color. And you're going to mix this, guys. I did this for at least 3 more minutes. I don't know, actually about 3 to 5 more minutes until I was comfortable enough to ensure that my eggs were nice and tempered and worked through our lemon thickened mixture here. Okay, and then it'll start getting a little darker in yellow color. Okay. Now all of this, my loves, this could be made in advance. A lot of this stuff could be made in advance. Now we're going to add our 4 tablespoons of butter. Okay, so I'm using unsalted butter here. If you're using salted butter, then cut down on the amount of salt that you're adding to this, which is like a pinch of salt, and we're going to add that, and that's going to add a nice sheen, a little bit more richness to our filling. And just for more, just to make sure that it's smoother, I put this through like a sieve. Was actually my flour sifter, but that's okay. Anything like a sieve, just to ensure that there's no, pieces of egg cooked into it. You see pieces of egg, even though there wasn't, but I just want to ensure that I have a smooth filling. All right, so now we're going to cover that. We're going to cover the surface, actually cover the surface. As you can see, I'm taking the plastic wrap and I'm clinging it onto the surface of the filling. And I'm going to stick this bad boy right in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. And here are our cakes that have been baked, guys. I'm just taking some plastic wrap and wrapping them so I could trap that steam to go right back into the cakes, because that is another addition to help keep your cakes nice and moist. All right, my love. So now we're getting to make the delicious Swiss meringue buttercream, coconut buttercream, guys. So I'm mainly making this cake for my friend. She told me that she wanted a frosting that wasn't too sweet. Okay, there's so many other ways you could make a cream cheese frosting for this, which uses some powdered sugar and stuff. So I figured if she didn't want something too sweet, let's do a Swiss meringue buttercream. Now we got some butter at room temperature. Well, okay, just the right amount. We got some sugar. We got coconut flavoring, okay, that we're gonna add to this icing. We have some cream bouquet, which is delicious in frosting. I have some meringue powder, okay, and we have some egg whites, okay, which is at room temperature, and a pinch of salt, just a pinch. If your butter already has salt in it, don't use the salt. And we have a bowl, metallic bowl, in a pot, and I'm gonna show you what to do right now. All right, so guys, of course, when you're making this frosting, you want to make sure that your bowl is nice and clean and it doesn't have any type of fat on it, or your thing, the whipping of your egg whites is not going to work. So what I'm doing, I'm taking some vinegar and I'm wiping the bowl to ensure I remove any type of fat. If there is fat, of course, I do wash my bowls. Okay, I do that with my bowls, even the whisk that I'm going to be using with this. So we got some water in a pot, and we got it on a medium high to start boiling. Now we're adding our egg white and our sugar in a bowl. Okay. And we're going to put the bowl on top of the pot of water, and we're going to mix it. Now we want to get this to at least 160 degrees, but if you don't have a thermometer, guys, what you could do is you could feel for any sugar granules. Once you don't feel any type of sugar granules in your egg whites, that means you could take it off and we could start beating it, okay? If you don't have a thermometer. Okay, as you can see, I'm checking to see if there's some sugar granules. Yes, there is still some sugar granules in there. You could feel it right in between your fingers. So we're going to continue to mix, okay? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna feel it. I don't feel no more sugar granules, and that means I could take it and put it into my other bowl, mixing bowl here, and we're gonna start whipping this, okay, until it starts getting nice and thick and increase in volume, okay? Because the goal is, guys, we're going to be adding the butter into our egg whites in chunks, okay? You have to make sure that your bowl is nice, and you don't want this to be hot, okay? You don't want the bowl to be still too warm, then you're going to have soup. And if that happens, my loves, then you know what? Take it, put it in the fridge, let it get cool a little bit. As you can see, I'm speeding this up, okay? And let it get cool a little bit, and continue whipping. Okay? So you want to feel the bowl to get cool to the touch. And I'm going to add some meringue powder. If you don't have meringue powder, guys, you could use about a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of lemon juice. And this will just keep the structure of the egg whites, okay? So as you can see, it's starting to get nice and thick. Okay, I'm looking for stiff peaks here. for it to get nice and thick before I start adding my butter. Of course, I'm going to speed up the process because I do not want to bore y'all. All right. Now, guys, with the butter, I'm using unsalted butter. And you want to get the butter where it feels like Play-Doh, where you could leave your imprint in it. So you don't want it to be so warm that your fingers go right through it. It leaves your finger greasy, but you want it still a little bit cool, but not too warm. Okay, and then we're going to add it in chunks into our egg whites. See? Now we're going to start adding our butter. A little bit at a time. And my loves, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you could be notified every week of all of my new recipes for all of my subscribers out there. And don't forget to like, don't forget to share, give me a thumbs up. Let everybody know about Jackie's Cooking. So as you can see, I'm adding the butter by tablespoons, okay, into our egg whites. Now what's going to happen, don't be alarmed, it will start to change in texture. It might start looking runny and soupy at first, but don't worry, it will thicken up. Now if it's not thickening up, that means probably excuse me guys, that you probably didn't let it cool enough. So what you could do is stick it right in the fridge for at least 15 minutes and then put it back on your mixer and start whipping again. Okay, but if you start doing it correctly, don't be alarmed by this point, because it will start to get thick. So I'm speeding up the process in real time. And as you can see, I'm adding it in by tablespoons. And I wanted to show you guys this step by step with this. And of course, this is getting thick. Okay. Just want to scrape the bowl up a little bit, and I'll beat this for another minute. Okay. And I'm going to whip that for another minute or two at medium-high speed. And we're going to add some of my coconut flavoring to this. And we are also going to add some of that cream bouquet, which is delicious in frostings, guys. Let me tell you. Okay. And after that, my loves, you should end up with a nice, thick, beautiful buttercream, which is nice and thick, nice velvety texture, and not overly sweet. Okay, again, there's other ways you can make a frosting for a coconut cake or a coconut pineapple, coconut lemon, what have you. But if you don't want a frosting that's too sweet, this is one of the routes to go. All right, so now we are going to assemble everything together. We have our cakes, our fillings, and our buttercreams ready to assemble. Okay, so of course I'm putting this on the board, and I'm just going to put a little bit of frosting on the bottom of this board, my loves. And this is just to hold the cake in place. All right, and we're going to take our first cake. Okay. Now, I didn't do a border for this. If you want to do a border, go ahead, do the border at first, but because I've been doing this for so long, I know what and have an idea of what to do. So I'm taking my delicious, this is called 3-layer cake. So I'm taking my delicious lemon filling, putting it on that first layer. Now we're going to put on the second layer. But as you can see, guys, I didn't allow the filling to come all the way to the edge. But if you've been doing this for a long time, a lot of us will skip the bordering sometimes. Okay, now I'm adding my second layer, and I'm going to add my second layer of lemon filling. And as you can see, that lemon filling is nice and thick. As you allow it to cool, all you have to do is when you're ready to use it, give it one last little stir. Okay. And you're ready to use. All right, now our last layer. And of course, this is going to be great because the holidays are right around the corner. So this is a great dessert for the holidays or anytime. All right, so now I'm going to start icing. I'm going to do this in, I'm speeding up the process here. Okay, and of course, as you can see, as I'm putting on the frosting, I'm pushing that frosting into the gaps. Okay. Just want to speed up this process because, you know, don't want to bore anybody, but at least I want you guys to see what's going on. And now I took, if you're traveling with this, guys, and you want to, for safety or measure, you could take like a dowel and put it in the, or one of those straws for the cake, and put it in the middle, and that'll keep your cake, if you're traveling with it, from shifting. Now we're taking our toasted coconut, my loves, and we're putting it on the sides of our cake. And again, if you don't want to toast the coconut, fine, that's up to you. I just like to toast it because not only that, I think it looks cute too if you toast it a little bit, but not only that, but it amplifies the flavor of the coconut. Okay, putting our coconut, making sure it's pushed on the sides well, putting it on top, and here's our coconut lemon cake. Here we go. We ain't got no time to play. Okay, we here to do business, baby. Okay, look at that beautiful, beautiful lemon coconut cake. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And you take one of these to Thanksgiving or to whoever's house you going to for Thanksgiving or any time, they're gonna love you. All right, so let me show you how the cake looks. I just, you know, of course, my friend wanted to try a piece of her cake, you know, because I said before you go, you gotta take this cake. Okay, look at that, nice and fluffy, absolutely delicious. And of course, I had to get her opinions on this.
You get that zing, and the icing, not too sweet, but just nice, just right.
Right.
With that coconut, toasted coconut is that?
Yeah, because by toasting the coconut, it brings out the flavor.
And then here this, oh my gosh, it's filling. It's out of sight.
My delicious homemade fun, which everybody's going to get to enjoy because I've shared my recipe with them. But guys, thank you so much as my friend is enjoying this cake with me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.